someone could look and act like a fuckboy, but maybe once he gets in a relationship, he's committed only to you. Or the other way around, probably for girls, you know, like probably a girl, she looks like complete hoe.
Yeah.
I know some girls like, man,
Like on Instagram, like they just have bikini pictures or ass pictures, you know, just.
or she's had a lot of sex with like many guys,
Mhm.
but when she finally gets in a relationship, she just like disappears off the face of the planet. And when you even try to like to homework her, she's like super unresponsive. So you can't just like judge someone's future potential based on their past. So you kind of need to get to know them a little bit more, because on like the outside, right? Like for example, me, I look like a fuck boy and I look like I would just play girls.
Mhm.
And that is true to a certain extent, but when I meet the right one, I'm just gonna treat her like she's my queen, and I'm
Mm.
just gonna be super loyal to her.
Mm.
And that goes to show with my girlfriend. So
You know, with your past, Panda,
mm,
your willingness to be true to yourself shows a lot of integrity. That it shows that when you are ready for commitment, that woman can trust you.
Let me ask you this: like, does a girl's past have a big influence on what you think of her?
yeah, yeah, I think it does
So,
because
like, if she was hoeing around, but then now she's only like for you type of thing, would you kind of be like, oh no, I don't want it anymore since I know like you had a like promiscuous past?
I'd still give that girl like, because like my girlfriend, she's had a bad past, like
Mm-hmm.
promiscuous past, but I still give her a chance. And then
Mm.
after a while, like we weren't really like serious, but after a while, like
It kind of
we
got to that
started
point.
becoming serious because I started seeing like her potential and her loyalty.
Mm.
And I started classifying her as like that girl that had a promiscuous past, but once she met the right one, she changed, and I was exactly the same
Mm.
because I was a big fuck boy.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I started to get to know someone or see someone that had the same loyalty to me,
Mm-hmm.
then I started being loyal too. And then I started like naturally gravitating towards not being a fuck boy and being loyal only to her. But to answer your question about if a girl's past would affect my ability to date her,
Mm-hmm.
I would say it does have an impact because you could think of it as like a credit rating, your credit score.
Okay.
The max credit score is like a 800 or so, right?
Yeah, I think that's the highest it goes, right?
If you're at like a 500 credit rating, who's going to lend you money? Even though like one day you decide, okay, I'm going to turn my life around. I'm going to pay off all my debts that come in moving forward.
Mm-hmm. And that credit score goes up a little.
That credit score is going up slowly and slowly, but you need like a loan on a house right away. But
Mm-hmm.
they see your credit score is like 500, fucking low. Then you're not going to get it, right?
Yeah, most likely not. Would you think for girls a guy's past would influence their thought, or do you think it's different?
A lot of podcasts say like a girl doesn't really care about like a guy's past, but I've had so many experiences where like girl like just judges me. And I think this might be a difference in culture because a lot of
Mm.
these podcasts like they could be black, they could be white people asking the question,
Mm-hmm.
or you know non-Asians, but in the Asian culture we're more reserved. So if an Asian girl sees me as like a fuckboy, she kind of correlates the two and thinks kind of like how men do. Be like, oh, if this girl had a promiscuous
Mm.
past, then she's more likely to fuck up in the future. So I think Asian girls think the same thing. They're like, if this guy's this Asian fuck boy right now, who's to say that he's not gonna be a fuck boy in the future? I think,
Mm.
to be honest, like if I hadn't watched these podcasts, I think many of these, I think like the whole world, everyone will kind of like correlate it to like the whole credit history because someone's past could
Mm-hmm.
probably be a good indicator of what their future entails.
Mm.
So
Yeah.
even if like someone has cheated before, like in the past, they could probably cheat in the future too. So that's what we say, once a cheater, always a cheater, because once you've done it, you're more likely to do
Go
it.
back to it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
or
Past does kind of play a role in like seeing what type of person you are and like what you could possibly be in the future.
yeah. I speak on like behalf of like Asians, like Asian girls, because
Do you mean in the East or over here?
so I think like in both like ABCs, American born Chinese,
Mm-hmm.
or like just Asians, in general
Mm-hmm.
that are born here, or if they grew up in East Asia or Asia in general, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think the culture with Asians is that like the Asian girls that I dated here and in the East, they
Mm-hmm.
always like to see, oh, like were you a fuck boy? And they kind of like doubt me, you know. If I say
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I was a fuck boy before, then they kind of doubt me, and then they're like, huh, like have you cheated on anyone before? And they start asking like leading questions, like as if like I'm not a good fit for them.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of like why some fuckboys, Asian fuckboys, they kind of just like lie about things, and they're just like, yeah, I've never like slept with like that many girls or anything like that. I'm like pretty loyal. So because in the Asian culture, I think like girls are more judgy. So if
Mm-hmm.
you had a bad past, it kind of goes to the like the future. Like when people say that someone's past should not matter,
Mm-hmm.
I think that doesn't really apply to like Asian people. Like in a vast majority. But there are cases where like people see your fucked up past and then they're like, okay, like I'm willing to work on it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm willing to believe that you changed. And I've
Mm-hmm.
had cases like that. I've told some girls straight up, yeah, I was a fuck boy. They've
Mm-hmm.
given me a chance.
I think does that kind of play more like, oh, like you're kind of honest to them,
Yeah,
and then they're
exactly.
like, oh, okay, he kind of like he's honest to me, so I kind of feel like there's
Trust him a little
trust.
bit
Yeah.
more. Yeah, but that could also be weaponized against the woman because
Oh
like
yeah.
maybe because he's being honest about this and then gains her trust, maybe he's like using that as a stepping stone to like just lie to her in the future or something like that, you
Oh
know,
shit.
like just I'm gonna give like something that I was bad in the past about just to be honest to this girl,
Mm-hmm.
and then so she could trust me, so then when I actually do something bad in the future, she won't doubt me too much, something like that.
All right.